date experiences with your significant other. Anniversaries, dates, birthdays, I have the same problem too. So a few months back, it was my girlfriend and I's 6-year anniversary. I spent a lot of time looking on Yelp, asking friends, using other media sites, but you know what? I just wish I could buy a date package, dinner and activity. This is exactly why I started ReserveMe, which is a web platform designed for the everyday, busy professional to discover, purchase, and save time on that premium date experience. So for example, imagine you and your partner going to your favorite restaurant in the city. You go to the restaurant, but not only that, you get a private chef tour, meet the owners, get to learn more about the history of the origins of the restaurant, and then eat dinner. Afterwards, next in the package is, then you go to a cocktail mixing class where you learn how to make unique drinks and drink them. But then after that, you get a private tour from the bartenders on the art of mixology. So, but just to be clear, ReserveMe is not to provide you with a date to go on, but it's providing the date activities. So you have to find your own dates. But quickly on the business model, we're a business to consumer model. We work with select merchants just in SF right now to carry these packages to distribute to our couples or buyers, as well as third-party dating sites that we're partnering with. So now about the team and why we're going to be successful. My name is Chris. I'm a recovering investment banker, I guess. I've had corporate strategy and biz dev experience. My colleague Poi here on the sales side, he previously led, trained, and managed large sales teams. Jen on design, she had previous numerous design experiences as well as in event planning. And then Tony, our lead developer, he's worked for numerous software companies in the past. Looking a bit at the competitive landscape. So on the bottom left there, we have the Groupon and Living Socials of the world. Huge discounts, wide variety of brands, not really focused, from skydiving to teeth whitening. As we move up the spectrum, we have the local experiences, the side tours, the Bibles, having locals share their unique experiences for you. What we're targeting at ReserveMe is the premium exclusive market, but focused just on the dating market. Next, so for the past 6 weeks, we've been working hard at the merchant and customer development. On the merchant side, it's really about getting the overall sales process right, what really works. And what works is stressing the premium and exclusive experience. So, but then with this, establishing long-term partnerships, because merchants will work with you one time, but the event isn't the purpose. It's about all the future events and the customer retention. So for us to build our platform with them as we grow together. On the customer side, we interviewed a lot of folks in the initial part of the program, a lot of interviews, and what we learned was, A, there is a customer appetite to pay premium, depending on what the experiences are. And people do want some optionality, but all in all, everyone likes to discover, they like to learn new things, but at the same time, saving time while not having to plan it, but still have that. So some of the results. Over the past 6 weeks, we contacted over 120 merchants in SF alone, restaurants, activity vendors. From that, we scheduled 30 in-person meetings. And then we gave 12 deal proposals to form partnerships with these merchants. But the key number to focus on is the fact that we secured 5 merchants that were testing deals now live on our site, as well as in the coming weeks and months. So next, I want to give you a quick demo of our live site to show you the overall process, how it works, and how it functions. So as we see on the main page here, this is our featured deal, a Taste of Chinese New Year, a tea event that we work with Taste Tea, this tea shop in Hayes Valley. You can see various pictures. And then also below the featured deal, we have some other feature packages that we're showing. More tea events, as well as a beatboxing couples method session. We learn how to beatbox from Kareem. So looking more in this deal, you see Kareem here. You see where the event is actually going to be held, basic itinerary and game plan, where it's going to be located, as well as user reviews. And if we want to book it, we're currently using Eventbrite as our payment processing platform to book the pit ticket. And so next, there's no sound, but this is actually a video of one of the couples from our very first event we held 2 weeks ago at Taste. And it's kind of the feedback around what they liked about the experience, but it was an hour-long event. We sold the deal for 22 seats, the entire venue. The deal sold out in 3 days at $60 per couple. So here's the video at least, so you can see. We're talking about how they're having fun, and here's Vincent, the owner, sharing the tea experience, his wife Rebecca, and they're learning the process of brewing, serving, and drinking tea. And this is the overall cap of the night that we're showing. So why are we here? We showed initial traction in showing that the merchant side, there is a need to show them in a premium and exclusive light. On the customer side, there is a demand to save time, discover, and try new things, and also pay a premium. So for the next 6 months, we want to rapidly expand our merchant pipeline to 90+ merchants. And to do this, we want to saturate SF first, and then expand into SF and New York, as well as New York. But to be able to do this as well, we need to beefing up our sales team, as well as hire more developers. So 4 sales and 2 developers to really strengthen up our platform and scale. And what we're asking to do this, we're also seeking advisors, any advisors focused in the entertainment space and or the dating market. And we're looking to join a qualified incubation program to further improve our product. So seed capital-wise, in order to do this, we are seeking $350,000. This will cover our basic overhead, salaries, and our costs for our employees. And I'd like to close with one thought to share with you. So next time you're thinking about planning that special date for your anniversary or your date, just like I was doing for my anniversary, think of Reserve Me. Thank you.
All right, good job. So you're basically automating dating.
Yes, bring the VIP, but monetizing it to purchase it.
So it's like Uber Cab for dating.
Exactly.
Not bad. Isn't it take the romance out of it though?
Well, your date doesn't have to know that. So the guy for you and surprise you with that date.
Jesus, what's next? Automated ass wiping. David.
Well, automated thoughtfulness is the hallmark of Hallmark. So, but I think the biggest issue here is going to be the quality of the date experiences you're able to put together is everything, right?
Yes.
And it seems like you guys are now doing that very much by hand, which is great as a minimum viable product. But the biggest question for scaling this up as a business is how are you going to scale sourcing and curating these awesome, intimate date experiences?
We realize that's a key question, the scalability. So currently we've established these long-term contracts. They're usually around 3 to 6 months of versions. So it's not a one-time deal. We're hosting around 2 to 4 events with each vendor. But then beyond that, so answering the question of, now that you're selling my deals, how can I be assured that you'll be able to sell them? So we're currently partnering with select dating sites in the Bay Area, sites that actually, they match the couples, but they actually have the problem of, we match them now, so what do? We go on Reserve Me dates. So speed dating websites, local Bay Area websites for dating, and then eventually membership-based subscriptions where vendors themselves can submit packages for us, being vetted by our approval system to make sure it's quality, and then distributed through our platform.
There's your answer.
So it's basically guy-facing. The assumption is that guys are not very thoughtful and need help.
What are you
So
talking
being-
about? 21st century.
No, I'm saying it's his assumption. I'm not agreeing with it. But
I think the assumption is right.
that is the assumption.
So I can testify.
So the opposite of what you're implying, this could be a way for guys to actually be more thoughtful by making it.
Kind of.
Well, because they can consider more things they might do. I actually think it's the opposite. I think guys will, especially guys who are kind of young and don't want to pay a lot of attention, would use something like this. So I do believe people would use it. I do think there's a danger that the girls would think that it does take the romance out of it. That's true.
Well, only if we found out.
So we've been thinking of nice ways to share the packages. So if the guy wants to show the girl, they can share it with the price tag's not included, so they can see what the itinerary, not the overall cost. But we're still figuring out what our exact users are. We've only done our single event. We're hosting more in a couple coming months, but that's why we called it Everyday Busy Professional, because women might want to share it with their friends and their boyfriends to buy for them, or they might be the users of the site. But we're still really figuring out the actual users for our site.
So I buy the basic proposition. I do. Your implication was you don't buy the core proposition. I think I buy the core proposition.
All right, Greg. Greg? Money?
Well, I guess just to go back to the scalability issue, I think that's really the core of probably your challenge here.
Exactly.
And how you're going to be able to make sure that, you're going to have to come up with criteria, quality criteria,
Yeah.
and trust your partners. So, in order to scale, at the end of the day, you're going to have to have the partners take on the responsibility for the quality of the dates.
Right.
And if they do that, then eventually you'll have some competition there. So what's your thinking there?
It's interesting because we were our first vendor with Taste. We were working with them, and we had our first event. We learned a lot about how they did the instruction about learning tea and about serving it. and we've improved upon it for our subsequent events on really getting the interaction right. We actually have like a live guitar player come to play music. But yeah, it is about making sure that the quality is really high for every event. So for the initial events, we're probably going to have, we're going to be there obviously to see how the event goes, to make sure that we learn from each one, and really iterate, improve upon that.
And you get to expense really sweet dates.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
my
you
girlfriend's
can't,
gonna go on.
you can't become the Yelp of this area, you're saying. You can't have self-service, merchants show up and say, here's what I can offer. People go on the dates, they rate the stuff, and you're
Yeah.
just in the middle as the place where they come to discover. You can't do that? Why can't you do that?
They definitely can do that, but if we're selling it at a premium price point, we want to just at least go to the first event to realize. But then after we trust them, then it's all for them to we just offer the platform, they discover it, and then people can go on it. So yeah, definitely.
So I need to
Great.
succeed because I'm lame, so this would help me. But I would actually, I looked at Airbnb and I never would have thought that would have worked because there's such a trusted relationship to let somebody put forth not just a room, but some people, like we do it, and we host the whole premium experience with the wine, the what's in the fridge, and all the other materials. But if you had an Airbnb type model,
Yeah.
you could be letting people source on that side. Flip side is I've worked with Lake Concierge. Lake Concierge sells, you know the service?
No,
So for American Express, for the really high-end folks, or for corporations that have their top busy executives, they sell, instead of one of these super premium healthcare packages they already have, they give them access to a concierge service, which essentially piecemeal puts these things together. So
Right.
people can just show up in a city that they don't know, bam, they have the whole thing put together either for themselves, or business partner, or their date.
Yeah.
But through Lake Concierge, they need somebody to package all this stuff up, so they can just flip these things around, and so
Yeah.
that looks like a great strategic partner, because that accesses the whole top end of the corporate elite and all of American Express's
Right.
top end.
There definitely is the market for individual vendors to offer their own experiences. Like, I'm a monk that used to be in finance, have a story with me.
Yeah.
But we're banking off going with trusted merchants. So people already know these venues, they know the names, but they trust the brand names. So if they trust the brand names, then they're maybe more willing to try the experience out for the first time versus someone who they haven't heard of. But we're really banking off the quality merchants and working with them to advertise these first packages.
But I'm suggesting you be the quality guarantee. Like, that's what Airbnb
Yeah.
has done. It's made me confident to go anywhere in the world,
Okay.
read the references from other people, but you're the middle. Once Airbnb stopped walking away from maturing when places got trashed,
Yeah.
they stepped up to the plate, they turned that one around, and you guys can start from that same position.
This is more of an idea, but in the weddings business, there's wedding planners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the date business, why couldn't there be date planners? Why
Yeah.
couldn't you just help bring into being a whole new layer of people who put these packages together locally? You certify those people,
Yeah.
and they have trust rating.
Yeah, that's
I think that's a great
That's a good
idea.
point.
I think any service where you can take something premium and give it to the masses, like Uber Cab, is
Yeah.
a fantastic idea. What are you guys laughing at?
Oh, I just pulled up the Heart Bandits, which is a marriage proposal and romantic event planning service.
So who in the room, which guys would use this service? Quite a lot. So which girls would not like it if they found out their date was built by this service? Does it matter? You wouldn't like it? Why not? Too much package?
It's because it's pre-packaged,
So it's free package?
I think you got it right. Like, what's going to happen with my girlfriend, she's going to use it, it's going to show up on my credit card.
Okay, any last feedback from judges?
She's sort of gone.
All right, well, as long as I can be a user tester. All right, judges, scores in the air at the moment of truth. We've got a 4, we've got a 5, 5, 5, 4. I just want to shake your hands for ditching your job as an investment banker and crossing over